Hi, I've spent a couple hours today trying to figure out how to wire up this 8-channel relay board to my Arduino. I'm by no means a wiring expert or electrical person, so it took me a little while to figure out how to get this all working, and I thought I couldn't really find a good YouTube video on it, so I thought I'd go ahead and just show you what I did. So hopefully this helps somebody out. So this is an 8-channel relay board that I got for $10 off eBay. It took about, I don't know, 7 days to get here maybe. But it seems to be functioning. My first goal is to just be able to switch the relays on and off using the Arduino controller, which I've been able to do. Eventually I'm going to, obviously wire this for 120 volt electricity stuff, so I can turn things on and off that way, but haven't figured that out yet, haven't gone down that path yet. When I do, I'll probably post a video as well. But here's how I wired this up. Just so you know, this here is going into 5 volts, which is what this board needs to basically activate the relays. It needs 5 volts to do that, to just turn the switches on and off inside here. The other kind of key here is that the green wire here is going to ground, and that's going to correlate to ground on here. So I guess I should probably do this here. Let's see. There you go. So on here, I don't know if we can see it or not, but on the, no, I really can't. On the right side of the post of all these pins here, it says VCC, so that's going to go to your 5 volts. And on the left side, it says ground right here. So on the right side here, VCC, that goes to 5 volts. Left side's green. Left side is ground. It's going to go to your ground. So that's how this is hooked up. The rest of the wires I have here, I've got hooked up to pins 6 through 13, the rest of the wires, and those basically just correlate to each relay. So this is 6, 7, pin 7, 8, pin 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Getting a good shadow here. That's all right. So that's how that's set up. So since my Arduino starter kit only has kind of male connectors, I just used an old computer IDE cable and I plugged everything into pin 1, and I'm just kind of using that as a way to rapidly plug into my Arduino board. So you could just, if you have female connectors, you could certainly do it a different way. I just didn't have them, so basically I'm plugging them in here to pins 1 through 10. Basically, the first one is going to go to my VCC, so that's my 5 volt, and the last pin goes to my ground. So it just maps out to this right here. So let me get that plugged back in. Okay, that's good. So that's just plugged back in now. And then I've got a very simple script. Again, I couldn't even really find a good script on this, but I kind of have used a couple sources here. But I've got a very simple Arduino script here that basically I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. I'm initializing all my pins and giving them variable names of relay. Then I'm setting them all up so basically they are going to be outputs, so I can write to them. And then I have a loop. It went down. Let me scroll back up again. And I'll try to put this in the comments on YouTube. I have a loop here, and this is a terrible. I should be using an array and whatnot, but I just really am not interested in making these things loop for my end goal. So I just kind of did this rapidly. But I basically just write out pin 1 or the first relay to low. So I'm turning it off, and then I'm turning it back on and whatnot. So the result is, let me plug in, let me get the Arduino power here. And right now, so when you have the relays, my understanding is eventually I'm going to need another power source to power, obviously to power out my 120 volts and stuff, because the Arduino can't push enough power through here to do that. And like I said, when I cross that bridge, I will maybe do more about it. But right now I'm just doing this all off the Arduino. The ribbon plugged into the right pin here. I had to stop it so I could do that. So you can see we're just looping through. So the light obviously the light's indicating which relay is turned on and then you can actually hear the mechanical click of the relay. Click, 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 click. So right now my script's set to every 400 milliseconds that it changes. Or it's on for 400 milliseconds and it's off for 400 milliseconds. So that should be enough to get you wired up as far as that goes, and get you on your way. Basically, I guess the only thing I should point out is that I have, this first here is pin 5 here, or pin 6 is my first pin here. The orange wire is pin 6, and that basically maps out to on this board. On this board here to. I have it mapped out to input IN 8 on the board, so that's basically the 8th IN. So I'm actually going backwards as far as the numbers go, but input 8. So that's how that maps out. I could, you could, like I said, you could do this different ways. I'm just happening to use an IDE cable just because I had it and it works. And what else are you gonna do with the IDE cable anymore? So, yeah. So there you go. I hope that's helpful to somebody, because it certainly took me a little while to figure it out.